Now I'm going to represent our team, that is Science and Technology for Sustainable Future. And my team is Transport and Communication. So, we have been complaining about the heat every year. And now we have come up with a solution, that is the solar car. Solar car is a vehicle that uses solar panel to generate electricity and power the car. Solar cars are a sustainable alternative to conventional cars because they use renewable energy and produce fewer emissions to the environment. Solar power is a power we get from the sun, unlike fossil fuels which can cause significant pollution and emit greenhouse gases when burned. Solar power is clean and renewable. However, it is not available at night or on a cloudy day. Solar panel converts sunlight into electricity which can be used to power machines like motors. They must be connected to the motor to form a circuit. A motor can be used to drive the wheels of a solar power car. In order to build a solar power car, you need to be familiar with the basic parts that make up a typical car. The materials that we needed are wheels, cardboard, solar panel, DC motor, and a battery to store the energy. Solar power cars are a fantastic way to learn about renewable energy and engineering principles. Here's a breakdown of science behind solar car. Solar panel converts sunlight into electricity using only photovoltaic cells. These cells generate direct current electricity. The DC motor uses electricity from the solar panel to spin, which helps the car's wheels. The project demonstrates how light is converted into electrical energy and then into a mechanical energy. Solar power cars are a fantastic way to learn about science and technology while creating something cool. Through this project, we have successfully demonstrated how light energy is converted into electrical energy and then into a mechanical energy. Thank you.
The topic of our model is hydroponic farming, which falls under the sub-theme natural farming. So, ancient Babylonians started a water-based method known as hydroponic farming, which consists of two parts. Hydro means water and ponos means labor. So, the scientific principle involved in hydroponic farming is that it utilizes osmotic potential for plants' growth, using the osmotic pressure by the plants to absorb the nutrients water, which is a key aspect of the hydroponic process. There are many types of hydroponic farming, but the major ones are of 6 types. Number 1 is the nutrient film technology. Number 2 is the wick system. Number 3 is the deep water culture system. Number 4 is the ebb and flow or the flood and drain system. Number 5 is the drip system, and number 6 is the aeroponic system. The one which we use in our model is the nutrient film technology. This one is the aeroponic system, and this one is actually the vertical farming, but we use it in a technique of the hydroponic system, which is the ebb and flow or the flood and drain system. So this one, when we on this motor, as you can see that the water is pumped to the first channel of this hydroponic system and then to the second channel, and then after that it will be recycled back again into the same tank. Some of the plants grown in hydroponics in this nutrient film technology are spinach, broccoli, and then root vegetables like carrots, beetroot, etc. Here, this one is the aeroponic system. The plants are suspended in the air, which are being misted, sprayed or sprinkled with a nutrient solution. It consists of low pressure aeroponics or high pressure aeroponics, with low pressure aeroponics being common for home growers and high pressure aeroponics favored for commercial production. As you can see here, that when we on this motor, it will sprinkle the water, But then we can also use sprayed, or we can also mist the nutrient solution to the plant's roots. This one is the vertical farming. So the scientific principle involved in here is the controlled environment agriculture, which uses optimum nutrition for plants' growth by controlling like the environment, the wind, humidity, and also the carbon dioxide level. Here we also use the technique of hydroponic farming, that is the ebb and flow or the flood and drain system. There is a periodically flooding of the growth bed, but then again it will be drained again into a reservoir. So as you can see here, when we on this motor, the water will pump to this growth bed here. But as soon as the water will fill the growth bed, it will drain it back again into the tank. Here we use a rainwater harvesting method to give water to the plants, and which is transferred again to the tank. And then, as you see that if there is any heavy rainfall, we will not waste the water, but we will also use it in the field as drip irrigation method. So for all of these type of farming, we need a current. But then we don't use the hydroelectricity, but we use a natural way of generating the electricity, either from the solar panel or from the windmill. Some of the advantages of hydroponic farming are minimizes the production within a limited space. Number 2 is that provides optimum nutrition for plants' growth. And number 3 is that can be a good solution for urban environment with limited access to land. So to conclude my exhibition, I would like to say that practice of hydroponics farming leads to, number 1 is faster growth and higher yield, number 2 is space efficiency, number 3 is water efficiency, number 4 is improved nutritional value of plants, and number 5 is reduce the use of pesticides. Thank you.
The sub-theme of my project is disaster management, and aim of the project is to reduce the amount of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere. So I am very glad of myself to get this opportunity to demonstrate this project on acid rain. So as my project is about acid rain, so I would like to express what is acid rain. Acid rain, as the name suggests, it is the precipitation of acid in the form of rain when atmospheric pollutants like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides reacts with the atmospheric water to form nitric acid and sulfuric acid, and the result is called acid rain. So here are the causes of acid rain: the smoke from industries, the smoke from vehicles, the burning of dead plants, the burning of fossil fuels. These all gases, they release into the atmosphere and forms a cloud. They mix with the droplets of water and fall as acid rain. Here are the effects of acid rain. When this acid fall down in the form of rain, it affects the life of plants, animals, and to the whole agriculture and ecosystem. It can even lead to the death of plant, and it can also affect the life of aquatic plants and animals. As for human being, our shelter is home. So for these aquatic plants and animals, their shelter is water, so they could not survive in that water. So it caused death to aquatic plants and animals. Another effect is it might also cause soil erosion, and it might also cause barren land. Another effect, it destroys the quality of soil, making the soil unfertile by increasing the acid content in the soil. Plants could not grow in acidic soil, therefore it caused to barren land. Another effect is we might also get skin diseases like rashes, infections, allergy from this acid rain. And if we drink this acid rain water, we might also get respiratory disorders like bronchitis and asthma. And it might also be corroded. In real life example, 7 wonders of our world. The color of the Taj Mahal has been changed. It has been damaged or destroyed. The marble stone which has been used in the construction of Taj Mahal has been corroded. So in that case, we have to take this following preventive measure, like the use of alternative energy sources, solar energy, the use of windmill, the use of e-charging station. This all like advantage. It will minimize the pollution. Another is like using a scrubber in the industries. This scrubber can be fit in the chimney of the industry and can filter the harmless gases and release only the harmless gases into the atmosphere. And another is the use of unleaded petrol in the vehicle. And we can also use non-polluting vehicles like bicycle, which doesn't produce any kind of pollution. And we can also use electric vehicles by charging here in the e-charging station. And so that And we should also increase the vegetation and plant more trees so that it will clean up the environment and there will be no more pollution around us. So therefore, as we have seen, like acid rain is destroying our planet day by day, so therefore we should take the following preventive measure properly. So in conclusion, I just want to say, like, we should take the following preventive measures accordingly. So hopefully acid rain will be minimized in the future and we can survive properly. It is our responsibility to protect our future generation. So the only precaution we should do is to minimize the use of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere. Thank you.
My sub-theme is waste management, and the name of my module is wastewater management. So in here, I use a container which will collect all the impurified water from the factories and the drain, and with the help of this pump, it will transfer to the first container which is filled with small gravel. It will help in removing the solid substances like sticks, rocks and plastic. And then it will transfer to the second container which is filled with sand. It will help in removing the impurities from the water. And then it will transfer to the third container which is full with charcoal. It helps in absorbing the dust from the water. And then it will transfer to the fourth container which is filled with cotton and tissue paper, which help in absorbing the dust and the sand from the water. And then it is transferred to this container which is the purified water. It can be used for drinking and washing clothes and other household substances. It is transferred to the houses shown here. The purified water is transferred to the houses which is shown here. Let me show the one. So that's how my models work. Thank you.
The topic of my exhibit today is water treatment plant removal of microplastic. The reason I choose this topic is because most plastic have become a crisis in today's world. In recent studies, it has been detected that microplastic have found in the cells of kidney, liver and even in the brain. So to reduce this problem, I have bring you one solution, and that is to remove microplastic from water through water treatment plant. But before I would like to go forward, I would like to give a short introduction about what are microplastic and how they get entered the human body. Microplastic are small plastic pieces which are less than 5 millimeters in size, and most microplastic enter the human body mainly through water. As you see, this is the water coming from the source and is pumped to the first treatment, that is the primary treatment. The screens act as a barrier to trap all the large plastic, and the heavier ones will go to a great chamber and they will settle down at the bottom and can be thrown out as a sludge later. From here, the water will be transferred into a secondary treatment. The first step of secondary treatment is biocoagulation. In this tank, banana peel is added, as banana peel acts as a natural coagulant that can trap or absorb microplastic. See, when the turbine is rotating tangentially, it helps to mix well the water with the banana peel so that the microplastic will form a clumps, and then they will form a heavy mass and they will settle down at the bottom and can be removed again as a sludge later. From here, the water will be sent into aeration tank. In this tank, water is circulated with air to ensure that there is a rich supply of oxygen. From here, the water will be transferred into a biochemical tank. In this tank, microorganism is added as to act upon the organic matter and remove all the organic matter from here, and at the bottom of this tank, a sludge is formed and can be removed later as a sludge. From here, the water will be transferred to a tertiary filtration. This is the final stage to remove microplastic and to purified water. The first step of tertiary treatment is magnetic separation process. In this tank, ferrofluid is added as organic solvent of ferrofluid, and microplastic are hydrophobic in nature. See, when this turbine is rotating tangentially, it helps to mix the ferrofluid with the microplastic, and they'll form a clumps, and then they'll form a heavy mass and they will settle down at the bottom, and we can remove this using a magnet. See here, the microplastic will get trapped and will collect here, and we can throw it. So from here, the water will be transferred into a tertiary filtration. In this tank, if there is still microplastic, the microplastic will get trapped in between the gap of the sand. And from here, the water will be transferred into a chlorination tank. In this tank, chlorine is added to kill all the disinfection germs or pathogens that cause waterborne diseases. From here, the water is transferred into a storage tank. In this tank, water is stored for supply and is fit for human consumption. So that's all. Thank you.
So the title of my project is Early Warning System of Earthquake, which falls under the subtopic of disaster management. As we all know, earthquake is one of the most disastrous and common natural calamities in the world. So in India, especially in the northeast, major earthquakes are most likely to occur, which causes a huge loss of life and property. So since earthquake cannot be predicted, the main aim of this project is to alert the people before an earthquake of higher magnitude arrives. So here is how it works. Here we have a sensor. This is the Arduino Uno, and this is the LCD display, and we also have a buzzer and an LED. So when we shake this platform as if an earthquake is approaching, this sensor will sense the movement and it will send signals to the Arduino Uno. This Arduino Uno along with this LCD display has already been programmed so that when certain limit of the shake occurs, because we've programmed it for the movement of -1, so if it crosses -1, it will then send an alert through this buzzer which will buzz, and we can also have an LED which can turn on. So in spite of this physical alert system, we also have a satellite here which can send notifications to people when before an earthquake of higher magnitude approaches. So this Arduino Uno and this LCD display are both kept in this data processing center. So in real life it will be like computers which can analyze the earthquake very quickly. So here let's see how it works. First we have to connect some power. Here the earthquake, it's written here earthquake detector, and it's still calibrating, so we have to wait for some time. It's calibrating now, and now you can see here that it's -1 is written here. Now if we shake it, then it gives a sound. So if it after this turns on, it will turn off automatically. So we have to wait for some time. It takes time to turn off automatically, so it can alert people in the regions. So here we have a house. As you can see here, we have some black lines here, black strips. These act as seismic bands. Seismic bands are the horizontal zones or the horizontal strips on a building structure, which helps it to resist earthquake forces by absorbing earthquake energy. So basically, if an earthquake of higher magnitude approaches, such types of buildings might be able to resist the effects of the earthquake. So with such an alarm system, which can be made in different places, which are especially those which are seismic prone, we can help a lot of people, including to reduce the loss of life and property, and also it can also help in different benefits, including health, social, environmental, and scientific development. With that, my presentation has come to an end. Thank you.
For today's event, which is based on the theme Science and Technology for a Sustainable Lifestyle. The name of my exhibit is Healthy Living, Food, Fitness, Hygiene for a Better Life, which falls under the sub-theme Food, Health and Hygiene. So, let's start from the beginning. As we all know, that in today's modern world, we all are being creative and developing. We all are basically trying to take today's level of facilities to another level of comfort. And while doing so, we forget to care about environment, and not only environment, we also forget to think about our health, not only our health, but even the health of others. And now, everybody is thinking about sustainable development. They all want to have sustainable development. But what is the use of sustainable development if we ourselves are not there? We are not healthy enough to enjoy all these facilities. What I here mean is that sustainable development is the best when it has a balance with the vision of living a healthy lifestyle. Now, how can we have a sustainable development at the same time live a healthy lifestyle? The solution is this model, which replicates as a vision of living a healthy and a sustainable lifestyle both at once. Now, how are we going to have a sustainable yet a healthy lifestyle both at once? When we talk about health, the first thing that comes in our mind is hygiene. Hygiene basically talks about cleanliness. So, here we have 2 dustbins and a human figure that replicates how to use a dustbin. When we look around us, we don't have much dustbin. That leads people to throw around their waste materials anywhere they want. and that is not hygienic at all. When we talk about hygiene, it's not only about cleanliness, it also talks about the basic human need like restroom. Everybody needs a restroom. If we look around us, we can't even consider that we have one public toilet. And that's why people, if they are having an emergency, they end up using the roadsides as for their restroom purpose. They will do their businesses on the roadside. Imagine you don't know what happened before you and you are walking from the same path. Now, will that be considered hygienic? No, it won't. Especially when people are having a different kind of diseases, like take the example of hepatitis A, which is a liver chronic disease, and that person has done their stool or have done urination at a part, and you went by that part, or you are also using that part as the source of your satisfaction. Now, you are also having a high chance to be contaminated and also suffer through the same disease. In order to help all this, we have a restroom here. You'll be shocked to know, in India, every year, 566,663 cases are tested for hepatitis A, out of which 44,663 are positive. And for a liver chronic disease, that's not a small number. Now, moving further, when we talk about health, first thing that comes in our mind after hygiene is the food that we eat. So here I have a food pyramid that shows what shall we eat on the one side, and the other it shows what shall we not eat. Basically on the other side we have all the junk foods, because junk foods have less food and much calories. If we consider, let's take the example of one burger. One burger as a whole will be 200 calories, will gain 200 calories. On the other hand, if we make a plate of all the healthy foods, we can have rice, spinach, egg for protein, chicken, even on the side we can have an orange juice or a glass of water. All this together will not even be 200 calories. It will only be apart for 150 or maybe 190 calories. Now, that shows that all these junk foods are having just calories in place of food. If we eat a burger, the quantity is not big. We will even be more hungry later on. That will lead us to eat another, and that will never stop. So, after hygiene and food, we also have to work out. If we cannot just have a hygienic home, eat healthy food and sit around. No, we have to move our body in order to even be healthy. The basic thing if we talk is about the old people. Old age people also love their health, but they are shy to roam around, do exercises in public. Why is that? Because not much of them are doing. In this model, we have a yellow pattern that is at the center, and it's even surrounded by trees and plants. So, all as a community, the neighborhood can come together here and do exercises, yogas. Not only exercise and then yogas, they can even engage in activities such as they can organize some activities on Independence Day, Republic Day, Yoga Day, Health Day. There are so many days that we can even organize or have an event in this area. Now, when we talk about this area, it does not only benefit in our health. Even people, after their work, their pressure, everything, the anxiety, people have really, nowadays people are really having so much pressure on them that leads to anxiety and depression. And in this case, if we come in this area, full environmental area, there is trees, there are greenery area, they can sit and relax. When we are in nature, we tend to attract all the positive auras towards us. Now, we will also live a healthy life if we have this area. Now, when we talk about this area, it will also help the small kids. Small kids nowadays, they are too much in their phone that they are forgetting how to socialize. Now, if in this area, every small kid from the neighborhood comes together and engage with the adults, people, they can even talk about any kind of problems that they have. We all have problems in our life, but we have to share it with someone in order to feel good. So they can come here and learn how to be socialized. The basic problem of today's generation is they don't want to be socialized. They will not talk to any stranger if they don't know them. In such cases, they have to, if if imagine they lost their parents, or they are coming at a place and they don't know where to go, they don't know where their home is, they'll be so shy and so nervous that they won't even ask for a stranger or an adult for help. So in this area, first of all, small kids will learn how to be socialized, adults can spend their time, relax, and all of the neighborhood can come together and do exercises and yogas. When we talk about health, that even swimming is the best way of exercising and a fun way of exercising, where small kids, adults, men, women all together can work together. They can have fun with the water, at the same time they will also be exercising. Now we even have a health club here where people can do yogas, exercises there. They can even learn what to eat, what not to eat, and also they can even do exercises like they can even do singing, dancing. That is a good way of exercising. When we talk about exercising, it does not only have to be for the physical body but also for the mental. So here they can sing, dance, that will help them to be mentally healthy. Here we also have an organic farm that shows that even though if we are having a sustainable development, at the same time we can be engaged with the environmental side of our earth. So that's all. Thank you.
The topic of this model is carbon absorber, which works under the resource management. Before I explain, first of all, I would like to name the material required in our model are: for cartoon box, we have for factories we have used cartoon box. In building houses and decoration, we have used colored chart paper, and for providing the smoke, we have used PVC pipe, and for absorbing this carbon dioxide, we have used plastic container, and inside we have adding cotton and water, and for chimney, we have used water bottle and cotton. Now I'd like to explain how this model works. This is a factory. Inside this factory, there are some manufacturing process which has burned inside and been like harmful gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and more other gases like VOC, stand for biotic organic compound, which can be affect for health as well as environment. So this smoke and these harmful gases will go through this PVC pipe, and this PVC pipe will send the smoke through this carbon absorber. After sending the smoke and the harmful gases and more other gases can filter inside and being absorbed by the carbon absorber and filtered. After filtration, the smoke and the harmful gases, it can be sent through the chimney, and after sending to the chimney, it can be provide the air to the atmosphere. This is how model work. And there are some manufacturer of the purpose we have made this model are based on carbon absorber of principle that the smoke came up from industry and part of factory which contain very large amount for health as well as environment. So in this project we have made this factory because it can be helpful for us in maintaining our health and as well as our environment. So it can be observed by the carbon absorber and transmit the smoke through this PVC pipe and being observed and filter the smoke and purify the air after being transmit this inside this carbon absorber or carbon filtration. The air that convert into the carbon absorber, also known as a carbon filtration or carbon sequestration technology, are signed to use to fulfill of many type of waste that has been collected and amount of sources been selected and been observed and release the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere to prevent these more harmful gases like greenhouse gases and more harmful gases, because due to this maximum climate change and improving air quality, reduce air pollution from industry sound, and enabling to use fossil fuel while maximum climate due to the emission of job creation of maximum climate due to the job creation of the supporting of the law of the economic. And there are some examples of NRM, stand for Natural Resources Management, refers to the sustainable management natural sources like as water, land, air, minerals, and other more living organisms to ensure the long-term health and productively. There are some examples of NRM. There are sustainability, increasing sustainability, interdisciplinary participation, and adaptive management. Now, how this model works, we have already explained. I'm sure that you have already explained my model. This is how my model works. Thank you.
Today we'll be talking about a sustainable school through the practice of rainwater harvesting and using solar powered irrigation. This model demonstrates how the rainwater can be collected, stored, and utilized for non-potable purposes, reducing the demand on municipal water supplies. Now, this is the school building, and here is the catchment area where the rainwater gets collected, and the roof of the building is designed to maximize the collection of rainwater. And now let's move to the conveyance system. This pipe connects the catchment area to the storage tank so that when the rain comes, the rainwater will flow down through the pipe to this tank. And here we have installed solar panels which convert sunlight into electrical energy through photovoltaic effect. The energy which is generated by this solar is supplied to every part of this building, and the energy which is generated by this solar is used to power the water pump to create hydraulic pressure. And then the collected rainwater from this tank will now flow to the kitchen garden through drip irrigation system by gravity. The drip irrigation system delivers the water directly to the roots of the plants by capillary action. By practicing rainwater harvesting and using solar energy, we are reducing the energy cost and promoting sustainable practices in our school. Thank you.
Today I'm going to present my model groundwater recharge. So the first, when the clouds got heavy, the rain will start falls into the mountain, and from this mountain the water will flow through the canal, and from this canal the water will transfer to the pond, and then after many years the water will seeps into the ground, then it will fill the water table. Then some water we can use the water, we can store the water in the water tank. Then when the ponds will recharge the area around the pond, then we can dig out the ring wells nearby the pond. So similarly, this can be done by the individual households. Then it's the same thing. It will fill the ground. Then we can dig out the ring wells nearby the pond. So from this pond, the water we can use for various purposes, like for agricultural, for domestic purposes, and for drinking the water. From these wells, we can drink the water by directly, because the water from this ring well, the water is potable, so we can drink the water by directly. By recharging the groundwater, will help to maintain the aquifers and ensure sustainable water supplies. That's all. Thank you.
The title of the project is Use of Waste Rock Materials from Stone Quarries for Manufacturing Better Quality and Cost-Effective Concrete Blocks. The sub-theme is Resource Management. The objectives: number 1, to reduce and eliminate the adverse impacts of rock particles from stone quarries on water bodies. Number 2, to convert waste rock particles from stone quarries into useful and cost-effective concrete blocks. As you can see in this picture, these are the waste rock particles from stone quarries at Shillong in Mawkdok. And this is a picture of a river near the stone quarry, completely clogged by rock particles. So we use these waste rock particles for constructing concrete blocks. Now we will go to the methodology. The materials required: number 1, raw materials, that is the waste rock particles. Number 2, cement. Number 3, waste or water. Number 4, blocks making machine. Number 5, oil tin container for measurements. Number 6, shovels. After the methodology, we will go to the manufacturing process, proportioning. In this process, we try to find out the best combination between the waste rock particles and water, starting from ratio 1:6, 1:7 up to 1:15, in which one part is the waste rock particles and the other part is the cement. Mixing. In this process, we add water to the mixture and mix the mixture thoroughly. Compacting. In this process, we pour the mixture into the block making machine. Number 4, curing. After compacting, the blocks are ready for curing and are put in a dried area for about 10 to 15 days and are sprayed by water. Number 5, drying. In this process, we put the blocks in a dried area for about 15 days. After the manufacturing process, the blocks are ready for another phase, that is the quality testing phase. Number 1, drop test. In this test, we will drop the blocks horizontally and vertically. Number 2, corner test. In this test, we look at the edges of the blocks whether they show some cracks or not. Number 3. Texture. In this test, we look at the smoothness and roughness of the blocks. If the blocks is smooth, it contains lot of dust and is not of good quality. But if the blocks is rough, it is of good quality. Shape and size. We look at the shape and size of the blocks whether they are uniform or not. After the quality testing phase, these are our observation. The blocks of mixture 1:6 up to 1:10 shows 100% success rate, while 1:11 up to 1:15 they show some cracks. So the results: 1:11 up to 1:15 blocks are rejected, while 1:6 up to 1:10 blocks shows very similar qualities. Since 1:10 blocks are the cheapest to manufacture, we choose these blocks as they will be cost effective for large scale production. After performing those experiments, this is our conclusion. Number 1. Comparing the quality of our blocks with the normal blocks that is made up of sand and cement, our blocks shows a much better quality in terms of strength and durability. Number 2. Using this method, we can also help in eliminating one of the major causes of water and land pollution in and around those stone quarries. Number 3. If we sell our blocks at the market price of rupees 17 per block, we can get a profit of rupees 6 per block. Number 4. This project ensures employment. In the picture, as you can see, these are the blocks that one of our teacher used them for constructing his house. As you can see here, these are the waste rock particles from stone quarries that we use them for making this block, and these are the blocks that is made up of sand and cement. As you can see, our block shows a much better quality than compared with this block. Thank you.
The topic of my exhibition is solar powered house under the sub-theme resource management and under the theme science and technology for sustainable future. Solar energy is one of the most easily available natural resources, and it is does not release greenhouse emission, and it is free from nature, and it also helps us to relieve monthly electricity bill. The scientific involved in my exhibition is here. This is the solar panel. The solar panel have two. One is the anode and one is the cathode. From the anode, from the cathode, I connect wire to this battery, and from the anode to the positive of the to negative of the battery. To the battery, I connect a wire to the resistor, and from the resistor to this LED, and from the LED to the switch, and from the switch to the negative side of the battery. And here is my exhibition. When the sunlight hits the solar panel will convert into electrical energy, and I use this so that I can charge my battery and use as DC current in my household. Here is the battery. From the battery, I connect a wire to the resistor, and from the resistor to the LED, and from the LED to the switch, and from the switch to the negative side of the battery. And here is my working model. And from the same panel, and from the same battery, I use as automatic light in my compound. Automatic light means during daytime it will switch off, and during night time it will switch on, like this. In case there is no sunlight, I have installed this windmill so that I can charge my battery. Thank you.
The theme of my project is Sustainable Future Model. The sub-theme of my project is Turning Waste into Energy. These projects include multiple renewable sources and efficient waste management to create a self-sustaining ecosystem. The main components include solar panel, windmills, and the waste to energy plant, EVs and charging station, There is 3 types of dustbins are also placed near the residential area, which is important for the efficiency of the waste to energy plant. The main components of this project are renewable energy sources like windmills. As the windmill spins, they generate electricity which can be used to for the charging station and the residential area. The solar panels are also the solar panels harness the solar energy and produce it to electrical energy, which can be used for charging this charging station or for electricity of the residential area. The working of the waste to energy segregation. The waste can be divided into 3 parts: biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and hazardous. The biodegradable wastes are transferred in this waste segregation, and the waste are divided into 3 parts: biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and hazardous. The biodegradable waste can be turned into the biogas by anaerobic digestion, produce biogas for electricity, heating, or cooking, and from the remaining digestate, it can be used as organic fertilizers. Non-biodegradable can be used for combustion. Combustion can generate electricity by boiling up the water, and from that steam, it can rotate the wind turbine, and it can be used for generating electricity. And from the hazardous waste, we need to do safe disposal, or we can recycle it or recover it. From this combustion, there are 2 types of ashes are produced: bottom ash and fly ash. From the bottom ash, and fly ash can be transferred here to ash to brick unit, and from this ash to brick unit, both type of ashes can be transferred into bricks. The fly ash is good for making roads, and the bottom ash are good for making school buildings, houses, and other construction buildings.
And the title of this model is Waste Management at Domestic Level. So every day every household generate lots of waste, biodegradable and non-biodegradable, but because of lack of knowledge and proper system, people usually just dump it in barren land or throw it in streams, or they burn it. So as you can see, in town or cities, the people usually just hand over their waste to the waste collector, but due to lack of knowledge, they mix degradable and non-degradable waste together. So keeping all this in view, we have made this model. For easy segregation at domestic level, so that it can be recycled, reused, and save our environment. So in here we have used 3-colored dustbin, all 3-colored dustbin. As you can see here, we have this 3-colored dustbin. All of us know what is the purpose of dustbin, but due to lack of knowledge, people are not using it properly. So therefore the purpose of our model is to bring awareness about the use of dustbin at home and make segregation easy for process and bring some benefits from the domestic waste. As you can see, here we have 3-colored dustbin: blue, green, and gray. Here in this blue dustbin, we can throw items which are non-biodegradable, like plastic bags, plastic bottles, plastic glass, and so on. Now in this green dustbin, we can throw left out food like rice, roasted vegetables, curry, pepper glass, and those which can be decomposed. Now in this gray dustbin, we can throw items like metals and some e-waste, says for example knife, needles, metal pans, nails, aluminum foil, mobile charger, mobiles, glass material, and so on. After segregation of waste at domestic level, our problem of waste is not solved. All of us know that this item is collected by the municipal department, but due to lack of knowledge, they don't collect it in separate bin. But for that, we have designed a vehicle where this can be collected in separate bin. So here you can see we have designed a vehicle where this can be collected in separate bin. Blue chamber for collecting blue dustbin waste, green chamber for collecting the green dustbin waste, and grey chamber for collecting the grey dustbin waste. For dumping collected area, we have divided dumping area or landfill into 3 different zones. Zone 1 for collecting blue chamber, Zone 2 for collecting green chamber, and Zone 3 for collecting green chamber. Now let me tell some benefits of this model. First of all, in this landfill, we have segregation waste. This segregation waste can be used for further process, like Zone 1 item can be sent to plastic recycling industry, Zone 2 items can be used for making manure, Zone 3 item can be sent to metal and glass recycling industry. Now the second one is that through this whole process we can save time and money, and by selling the item of zone 1 and zone 2 we can get some economic benefits. The third one is that we can keep our society and environment clean. And the last one, our streams and rivers and soil will not be polluted with solid waste. Now, what is the ways to implement this model? Some of the ways to implement these models are first, concerned department should supply these 3 types of dustbin to every household along with an item list, as you can see here. Now, second one is that concerned department can construct to the head village or the village developing community to collect 250 rupees one time from every household. So in return, they can get this 3-color dustbin. So the last one, concerned department can arrange awareness program in every village about the process they have to follow. Through this, we can easily manage our waste at domestic level.
My theme for today is Science and Technology for a Sustainable Future. My sub-theme is Waste Management, and the title of my exhibit is Plastic Recycling. In today's world, the usage of plastic has become a common trend. The more we see its advantage, more is its disadvantage found all around. As plastic is non-biodegradable, hence causing much of environmental degradation. In order to save the environment from destruction, green or dry is on the floor. One of the steps for green and clean environment is plastic recycling. These are the steps involved in plastic recycling. First of all, we'll collect our waste into dustbins and transport it to a recycling center where the process of sorting, shredding, washing, melting and reorganization are carried out, and finally new products are formed. Let me explain the steps through these models. Waste are collected in dustbins and transported to a recycling center through a municipal vehicles. In this factory, the first step is sorting. We'll separate the waste into 2 bins, one for dry waste that are biodegradable and the another one for plastic that is non-biodegradable. And the next step is shredding. Since we have plastic for various size, they need to be crushed into pieces to reduce their size with the help of this rotating blade or knife. And then the next step is washing. Shredded plastic are washed to remove contaminants such as food residues and adhesives and other dirts. After washing, we'll come into a melting and reorganization part. Collected plastic are melted and reformed into pellets that are used as raw materials for manufacturing new products. And the last step of plastic recycling is manufacturing new products. Plastic recycling are used to create a variety of products like pen cap, construction materials, packaging materials, etc. In this way, we reduce, reuse, recycle the plastic and minimize environmental degradation. Now the question is, how much plastic is recycled worldwide? Research says that just 9% of the world plastic is recycled. 22% is mismanagement and uncollected. 19% ends up in incineration, and 49% in landfill and polluting the environment. It is said that if we continue this trajectory, 12 billion metric tons of plastic waste will accumulate in landfill by 2050. Hence, bringing the awareness by spreading the knowledge of plastic recycling is very important and necessary steps to reduce its impact on the environment. Thank you.
This year's theme is Science and Technology for Sustainable Future. The title of our exhibit is A Floating House Using AAC Blocks, and it falls under the sub-theme of Disaster Management. Well, as you know, there are natural disasters as well as man-made disasters, and there are many examples of disasters like earthquakes, forest fires, chemical disasters and other natural disasters. They frequently strike without notice, leading to massive loss of life and property. Disaster management refers to strategies and actions in place to lessen and prevent the effect of a disaster. We cannot prevent disasters, but we can reduce their severity and arm ourselves with knowledge so that many lives will be spared. Flood is a natural disaster. Even in our state, especially in those areas which are near the rivers, they too face the problem of flood. Therefore, we have come up with an idea of making a floating house. This exhibit shows how real-life houses can be designed to stay afloat during heavy rainfalls or floods, offering a solution for disaster management in the flood-prone areas. The scientific principle of our exhibit is, the principle behind this floating house concept is to build homes that automatically adjust their height based on the rising water levels, ensuring that they do not get submerged during extreme weather conditions. Now we come to our methodology and working. Firstly, I constructed a house using AAC blocks, which in full form is autoclaved aerated concrete blocks, and a cardboard house. I built the base of the house with AAC blocks, which are lightweight because they are aerated, and so if a flood ever comes, instead of the house sinking, the house will rise based on the rising water levels. These are the anchors to prevent the house from drifting. The only disadvantage is that you cannot build the house which is heavy. You have to make it lightweight. It has to be made with bamboo or tin. However, there are many advantages as well. Since it is a low-cost method, the materials are easily available, can easily be made and constructed at home as well. The bamboo raft here, it is an alternative. Instead of using AAC blocks, a bamboo raft can be used, since bamboos are also lightweight and they are easily available everywhere, and you can get them in any desired length. So, to conclude this presentation, I will say that this floating house project is a great idea for innovative disaster management solutions. Thank you.
And this is my model Smart City, which is based on the theme disaster management. Now, the world has been facing a lot of disasters, so we must take precautions in order to have a good impact on human life. Starting with the buildings here. Since cities are expanding, many buildings are in demand, and this comes with a very huge risk when lightning occurs. So we must take precautions, and in order to prevent the lightning from damaging the buildings, we placed a lightning conductor at the highest point of the building, making it the first point of contact for the lightning. When the lightning strikes one end of the lightning conductor, it shows a preferred path for the lightning without damaging the building, where it reaches the ground and spreads out harmlessly. The city also has a flood alarm system. When the water level reaches a certain level, it sets off the alarm, alerting the people nearby. To prevent the flood from overflowing the cities, the city also has underground flood tunnels, which uses a similar system like Japan's metropolitan area underground discharge system, where there are these five silos, where the floodwater can enter these silos through these inlets and gates through a large passageway, and is then stored in a central storage receiver. This prevents sudden flooding as it stores excess water when flood level drops. High power water pumps are used to move the water to its final location, which can be a river, ocean, or even for later use for irrigation use. The city also has an earthquake alarm system. This pendulum here acts as a seismic sensor. When it detects ground motion, it sends the data to the microcontroller and checks if the ground movement matches with the earthquake patterns. When it exceeds a preset threshold, it sends the signal to the transmitter and sets off the alarm, giving an audible warning to the people nearby. Now that I've come to the end of my explanation, I want to conclude that we must be precautious and must be prepared for any disasters coming, and we should take precautions in order to have a good impact on human life. Thank you.
Today I'm going to display these models on 2D and 3D objects. These are the examples of 2D and 3D objects. But now we'll start first with 2D. Why we call it 2D? We call it 2D because it has two dimensions. They have the length and the breadth. Whereas 3D, why we call it 3D? We call it 3D because they have the length, breadth and height. And similarly, a cube. A cube also is a 3D object. It have the length, breadth and height. But in a cube, length, breadth and height are equal because they are made up of squares. But now, can we make a 3D? Yes, we can make a 3D by using these 2D objects. And now let me show you how to make this 3D by using these 2D objects. For example, to make a 3D cube, we can make a 3D cube if we have a squares. And if we combine the squares into 6 pieces, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if we pull, we get a 3D cube. And similarly, for a 3D cuboid, we can make a 3D cuboid with a combination of rectangles and squares, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 are rectangles and 1, 2 are squares. And in the same way, if we pull, we get a cuboid. And as you see here, we have 2 circles and 1 rectangle. And in the same way, if we pull, we get a cylinder. And here we have 3 rectangles and 2 triangles. And in the same way, if we pull, we get a rectangular prism. And here we have 1 circle and 1 big semicircle. And in the same way, if we pull, we get a 3D cone. And here we have 4 triangles, 1, 2, 3, 4, in the form of a parallelogram. And in the same way, if we pull, we get a triangular pyramid. And now, not only we can make it, we can calculate also the total surface area of these 3D objects. So now, like for example, the total surface of a square. We know that the total surface area of a square is 6a square. How to get the total surface area of a square? By using this 3D object. We can get the total surface area of a cube by using these 3D objects. As we know that the total surface area of a cube is 6a square. And now let me show you how to get the total surface area of a cube by using this 3D object. So as you see here, one face of a cube are made up of squares. And here, as you see here, we have squares with a combination of squares with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to make a cube. And that's how we get 6 here. And that a square is the area of one square, which is here. If we consider one side of a square is a, then the area is equal to a square. And similarly, for a cuboid, we can get the total surface area of a cuboid if we know the length, breadth and height of rectangles and squares. And as you know that the area of two opposite surface is the length into breadth, 2 into length into breadth, 2 into breadth into height, and 2 into length into height. And hence the total surface area of cuboid is 2 into length into breadth plus breadth to height plus length into height. And for cylinder, we can get the total surface area of a cylinder if we know the length, the height and the radius of the circle. And as you know that the circular area of 2 circles is 2 pi r square. How we get this 2 pi r square? So as you see here, we have in a cylinder we have 2 circles, and that's how we get this 2 pi r square. And the rectangular area is 2 pi r h. And now the total surface area of a cylinder is equal to 2 pi r into r plus h, and the lateral surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi into r h. And now, as you see here, we differentiate between the 2D and the 3D object. And here we know how to make these 3D objects by using these 2D objects. And at the same time, we know how to calculate the total surface area of these 3D objects by using these 3D objects. And that's all for today's exhibition.
Security alarm is a vital safety tool that help prevent crimes, fire and other danger by detecting and alerting people quickly. whether for home, industries, this system provides detection, peace of mind, and rapid emergency response. Our project is Laser Light Security Alarm System that uses the laser beam to detect an intrusion. It is based on the principle that when the laser beam is interrupted by an intruder, the LDR detects changes in light, alerting an alarm and activated the buzzer. So these are the components required for making the system. So here, in this system, I have touched this transistor, the transistor, the battery, the resistor, the LDR, the buzzer, and the LED light. So let me show you. So now let me show you how we connect this circuit diagram. So firstly, we need to connect this transistor to the battery and the resistor. And this resistor is connected to the LDR, and this LDR is connected to the buzzer, and this buzzer is connected to the transistor. And after that, we need to align that this laser is fall directly to the LDR. So now let me show you how these models work. So as you can see here that we allow this laser beam to fall directly to the LDR. When the laser is on, the resistance is low, and when the laser is blocked, the resistance increases and rising the voltage. The rising of the voltage triggers the transistor alarm and activated the buzzer. So now let me show you. So now as you can see here, when a person or an object interrupted between this laser beam and the LDR, this increased the resistance and activated the buzzer. So now let me give you some of the application for this system. We can apply the system for home security, doors, window, and entry detection. Second, we can apply this one for vault storage detection. And thirdly, we can apply this one for school demonstration or school project. In conclusion, this laser light security alarm system is a fun and practical electronics project that teaches the basic sensor circuit for better security, combine it with the PIR sensor and the CCTV cameras. Thank you.
Li-Fi is a wireless communication technology that uses light wave instead of radio wave as in Wi-Fi for data transmission. So it's operates by modulating the intensity of light emitted by a light source at extremely high speed, which are imperceptible to the human eye. The modulated light carries data which is then received and decoded by a photo detector. So there are many ways in which Li-Fi can be used. So let's talk few about it. Say like security. Well, local Wi-Fi can be used by many devices and it can be easily hacked and our personal data and information can be stolen. On the other hand, Li-Fi is far more secure as compared to Wi-Fi. So talking about radiations, humans are being affected by the radio signal for data transmission. Like as we can see nowadays, mobile towers are being used on 5G and 4G for data transmission and it emits radiation, which is not good for our health. On the other hand, Li-Fi uses light for data transmission and light has no radiation, so there is no damage. Well, now to make things more clear or more understanding, should we connect Li-Fi with a router to every room or any area like Wi-Fi? Well, the answer is no. All we need is just a bulb which is already there in our house. Whether it is low or high intensity of light, there would be no issue. So how does this really work? So here we have made a small project that is Li-Fi based system for smart door and audio transmission. So now let me show you. So let us assume that you wanted to send a file to your friend and that file is the size of 1 GB. So normally either you're going to use Bluetooth or Wi-Fi and let's say it might take 1 minute to complete it. But by using Li-Fi, it can be completed in a second. Now let me show you. So here, this phone acts as a transmitter and this as a receiver. Now, I'm going to transfer my file in a form of text and it will be received by this. Well, as you can see, the light is blinking, indicating that the data is sent, but nothing is being received by the receiver. Well, the reason is because I didn't transfer the light to the LDR. So what is going to happen if I'm going to transfer the light to the LDR? So as you can see, the message has been received. So another thing how Li-Fi can be used as the door security. Well, as you can see, the current state of the door is unlocking. Now, if I'm going to send a code, hi, then the door will unlock, and if I'm going to send a code hello, then the door will lock. Okay. So as you can see, the door is locked. Now if I'm sending a code hi, then the door will unlock. Well, the material required for this model are the LCD display, the buzzer, the Arduino which acts as the brain, then the LDR sensor, the servo motor which acts as the lock. So another interesting thing, how Li-Fi can also be used as an audio transmission. Now let's see. So as you can see, sound can also travel through light. So what is going to happen if I'm going to keep this in between? As you can see, the music stopped. So this indicates that light cannot pass through walls. And once I move, the music stops playing again. So the application of Li-Fi are smart home, healthcare, education and e-learning like classroom and lecture hall can be equipped with Li-Fi for fast and uninterrupted data network, enabling smooth video streaming and interactive learning tools. The advantage of Li-Fi are high speed, security, no health risk, energy efficiency like utilizing existing LED light for communication, whereas the disadvantage are line of sight requirement, limited range, ambient light interferences like external light source may also affect the signal detection. So to conclude, Li-Fi represented a fusion of light and communication, opening up possibility for a faster, safer and more efficient digital future. So the potential of Li-Fi lies beyond a connectivity. It's a step toward a smarter, greener and more innovative world. With this, thank you.
So measurement is an essential part of our daily life, and my model aims to apply conversion between different units of length, mass and volume. So here for doing this conversion, we do a multi-step process that involves multiplication and division by the numerical factor of 10. Suppose in this model, let us first consider meter, which is the measurement unit of length. Suppose 1 meter. If we convert meter into the units which are lies on the downward stair, that time we have to do division by the numerical factor of 10. Suppose if I convert meter into decameter, that means I have to do divide meter by 10. And if I convert meter into hectometer, that means I have to do divide meter by 10 square. And if converted into kilometer, that means I have to do divide meter by 10 cube. And in the similar way, if I convert meter into the units which are lies on the upstairs, that means I have to do multiplication. So if I convert meter into decimeter, that means I have to do multiply by the numerical factor of 10. And if I convert meter into centimeter, that means I have to do multiply meter by 10 square. And if converted into millimeter, that means I have to do multiply meter by 10 cube. In the similar way, if we convert the measurement unit of liter, that time we have to use liter in place of meter. And in the similar way, if we convert the measurement unit of mass, that time we have to use gram in place of meter. We can use this model as a teaching tool in science and mathematics classes to help students to learn conversion unit and measurement. This model will attract every student because the shape of the model is stairs, and this model will makes the learning fun and engaging also. So overall, the model is for better understanding of students. Also, we can use this concept in the school stair for deep understanding of students. For deep in the understanding of student, to help student learning conversion unit and measurement. Thank you.
Biogas is a type of renewable energy that is produced through anaerobic digestion of organic matter. This process happens in an airtight tank and is called anaerobic digestion, which means breaking down without oxygen. The gas produced is mainly methane, which can be used for cooking, lighting, and even generating electricity.
The biogas plant has different parts that can be worked together to turn waste into useful gas and fertilizer. Let me explain how it works. So here we have inlet chamber where we put organic waste like cow dung, food waste or plant materials, and we mix it water to make a slurry, which flows into the digester tank. Inside this tank, tiny bacteria eat the waste and release biogas. The gas produced is mainly methane, which can be useful for burning, and a small amount of carbon dioxide. The process takes a few days to produce gas depending on the temperature and type of waste. So the gas collects here and we can use a pipe to transport it to homes. If you see the green part, it represents the gas storage chamber where biogas is collected. The gas travels through pipe and can be connected to a stove or a generator. After the digester tank has filled, it comes through the outlet chamber where it used for the leftover waste comes out as a slurry, which can be used for the plants as a manure. Biogas plant has benefits like for cooking, just like LPG gas. It gives a clean blue flame and does not produce smoke. This helps reduce the use of firewood and saves money. For vehicles, biogas can be changed into fuel for buses, cars, or auto rickshaws. This is just like CNG gas and helps reduce pollution. For electricity generation, biogas can be used to run a machine called a generator, which makes electricity. This is useful in villages where there is no regular power supply. For farming, after the gas is produced, the leftover waste is called slurry. This is a natural fertilizer that helps plants grow well, and farmers use it in their fields instead of chemical fertilizer. Biogas is an eco-friendly and renewable source of energy. This helps reduce waste, produce useful gas, and gives nutrient-rich fertilizer. This helps reduce pollution and saves money on fuel. Thank you.
The name of my topic is filtration of water or wastewater management. So first of all, we have to move us in the introduction. In this introduction, it tells that the wastewater which come from the excreta or from the humans also, we can create or treat it as the wastewater and to make it filtrations. So instead of us, we'll move against the objective. So objective, a wastewater filtrations is to filtration remove contaminants and pollutants from the wastewater through the filtration process. And the principles. In this principles, it shows that we have to go through these methods, that is primary, secondary, and tertiary treatments. So now, and this is a working project, so you have to see here. The water will go through these tanks, that is wastewater storage tank. So after that, here the bar screen is present here. In this bar screen is held to trap large dust particles, and after that, we'll move to the second tanks. And this second tanks, small stone and big stone present here. So this also helped to trap some waste particles that coming from these tanks, because actually in these tanks only big particles present here was stuck there. So move to the third tanks. In this tanks, that is charcoal and pebbles present here. So here in this charcoals meant to trap some chemical separation. It's meant chemical separations, and sun is physical separations. So from this third tank to fourth tank, that is filtrations. So after filtrations, we move to the fifth tank, that is cotton. This cotton present here to attract and to separate some chemicals, some biological chemical reactions which present in this wastewater treatment. So we move to the last tank, that is pure water tanks. So these pure water tanks help in the rural areas to help for farming and for doing some works also. Only this much. Thank you.
My model is about the filtration of the water. So this working of this model is the wastewater from the house is come outside, so nobody can use that wastewater. So if we use this model, it can recharge the underground water. So the working of this model is the water is coming into the from house into the filter trap, and the filter trap it gets stuck all the dirty, all the like waste, and then it go only the water into the small tap. So the dirty, all the wastewater, the waste we like biology, like we should put into a dustbin, and then the water it come into the small tap. The small tap it gets stuck the fat, the oil, like fat, like oil, and then the water is go directly into the tank, and the tank it will filter all the dirty and all the bacteria, and then the water that has been filtered in the tank, it should be, we should use that again, and it clean. And if we dig a pit inside or like down in a tank, it's clean to drink, and it's very use. So this model is helpful for us to recharge the underground water. Thank you.
Science and technology for sustainable future. My sub-theme is resource management. The aim of my model name is to study about the hydroelectricity. So the material I have used in my model: a piece of wood, metal rod, container, bottle cap, bolt, PVC casing pipe, LED bulb, battery, DC generator, thread, switch, screw, wire, and a curtain box. So the principle, the scientific principle is point number 1, potential energy. Water stored inside a container has potential energy due to its height. Point number 2, kinetic energy. When water flowed down through the penstock, its potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. Point number 3, mechanical energy. The kinetic energy of water is due to drive a turbine, which converts the mechanical energy into rotational energy. Point number 4, electromagnetic induction. The rotational energy of the turbine is used to generate electricity through electromagnetic induction. Point number 5, generator principle. The turbine is connected to a generator which uses electromagnetic induction to convert the mechanical energy into electronic energy. So, as you can see my model, now I want to say that when water is flowing from the container to the turbine will rotate and generate the electricity with the help of DC motor. From DC motor, the battery will conserve in a battery, so that we can use electricity in a way that will reduce waste and consumption. Now, I want to show how my model is going to work. This rainwater is conserving, this container is conserving a rainwater. Now the container is full of water, so water is flowing from the container to the turbine, where the turbine is rotating and generating the electricity with the help of DC generator. From DC generator, the electricity is conserving in a battery, so that we can use electricity in a way that will reduce waste and consumption.
Thank you.
My topic is based on green hydrogen. So here is the production unit where the green hydrogen will be produced. Green hydrogen is produced using renewable sources of energy like wind turbines, like wind energy and solar energy, which will generate electricity to power the electrolyzer. And in the electrolyzer, the water will be split into hydrogen and oxygen. Then this hydrogen is transferred to the storage tanks to store it. And this stored hydrogen is transported to remote locations using these tankers, as you can see here. And then it is used in various applications like cars, in trains, in ships, in airplanes and in chemical production also. Under this we can see our Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari ji behind him. This is a hydrogen powered car, and under this train is hydrogen powered, and this train is was launched by Germany in the year of 2022 in the month of September. Environmental benefits: zero carbon emissions. The only byproduct of hydrogen usage is water. Decarbonization of hard to abate sectors like aviation, shipping and heavy industry can achieve sustainability goals with green hydrogen. Reduction of air pollution. Green hydrogen reduces air reliance on fossil fuels, improving air quality. Challenges and future development. Cost, production and infrastructure costs need to decrease for widespread adoption. Efficiency, electrolysis and storage require technological advancements to improve energy efficiency. Infrastructure, developing pipelines, refueling stations and storage systems is crucial. Green hydrogen is considered the fuel of the future because it supports to achieve carbon neutrality and ensures a sustainable energy ecosystem. Thank you.
The theme for this year is Science and Technology for Sustainable Future. My sub-theme is Transport and Communication, and the name of my exhibit is Railway Crossing Signal System. A railway crossing signal system abstract will typically describe a technology that utilizes sensor to detect approaching train at a level crossing by automatically activate visual signal to alert road traffic, thus allowing the gate to close as to prevent collision, ultimately enhancing safety at the level crossing by minimizing human intervention and improving response time. Here are the description. It also aims to provide an automatically railway gate at the level crossing by replacing the gate operated by the gatekeeper, by detecting train and stock on the level crossing, generating corresponding alert signal and controlling the gate. The solution is provided by developing a train detection model, stock detection model, signal system and alarm model, controller model. Both train detection and stock detection model generate high frequency through the alarm signal and detect the presence of the object if the echo received back by the sensor. The scientific principle of my exhibit is the system automatically detect approaching train using sensor like magnetic detector, triggering the signal light and alarm to warn road traffic to stop before crossing the track. A control unit receives sensor data, activate warning signal and operate gate to block the crossing vehicle when a train approaching. It also includes detail about specific sensor type, communication protocol, control system in the control shed aside, and battery or cell, alarm, wire connection, aluminum foil in the track for using as part of the management system. Material used for construction of this model are battery or cell, alarm, wire connection, aluminum foil, train track, train toys and car toys. The advantage of the railway crossing signal system are avoid the risk of accident and right way to decision making while crossing the track. Here how it works. When the train comes, the alarm will ring and the gatekeeper will close the gate to stop all the vehicle and people from crossing. To conclude, The proposed model system is useful in railway level crossing management due to its reliability and cost effectiveness. It could be very useful in rural area. The long wire technology provides early detection of train and is dependable compared to basic sensor-based system. This project can be further developed and can be used on ground development with inclusion of image processing to track obstacles if stuck between the level crossing gate and round the train motorman. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone. The name of my topic is Measuring Heights and Distances with Trigonometry, an inclinometer based approach. First of all, before we start, let us first try to understand what is trigonometry. So, trigonometry is a branch of mathematics concerned with the relationship between angles and side lengths of right-angled triangles. There are 6 functions that relate an angles commonly used in trigonometry. Their names and abbreviations are sine, commonly known as sin in mathematical texts, cosine known as cos, tangent known as tan, cotangent known as cot, secant known as sec, and last but not least cosecant known as cosec. One of the most practical use of trigonometry is to measure heights and distances. So in this exhibition we demonstrate how an inclinometer can be used to measure heights and distances using trigonometric ratio. And here in my model, the object is the building, and the objective of my model is to find the height of the building. And as per the given data, the distance is 24 centimeter. And here I'm using the inclinometer to note down the angle. As you can see that the angle is 60 degree, which hits the top of the building. And as per the given data, the inclinometer is 60 degree and the distance is 24. So we'll use tan 60 degrees is equal to root 3, and let's calculate. And here calculating the sums, tan theta is equal to perpendicular by base, where perpendicular is equal to base into tan 60 degree, and perpendicular is equal to 24 into root 3, where the value is 41.57 centimeter approx. So the application of this model is in measuring heights and distances. So it can be applied for measuring the heights of tall buildings and trees, and secondly it can be used for calculating the heights during navigation and surveying, and so on. So in conclusion, this exhibition demonstrates the power of trigonometry in solving real world problems. By using an inclinometer to measure angles and applying trigonometric principles, we can accurately heights and distances. And that's all. Thank you.